Hey Virgo, we're here for your weekly tarot love reading, July 7th through to July 13th. This is for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and of course for any of you lovely cross watchers dealing with a Virgo romantically. Now I do like to remind you, Virgo, these are general readings. They may or may not resonate, and you're always welcome to take what works and leave the rest. And just a quick reminder that if you'd like to get a personal reading, I do offer those through Etsy, and the link is in the description box below the video. So we're gonna jump right into it today, Virgo, and we're gonna see what could be coming towards you in love for this week. First message coming out today for Virgo says, so many things remind me of you. Interesting. So there's definitely somebody here who is constantly reminded of you, which to me kind of feels like they're constantly thinking about you. They're constantly thinking about the connection. Let's see where this goes. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Virgo this week. I know that I crossed the line with you. Okay, so they've been naughty, they messed up, and I kind of feel like they crossed the line and now the two of you are not together, maybe taking some time in a separation. And it's like everywhere they go, they are constantly reminded of you, which is making them realize how much they love you and how much they miss you. So it's like they crossed the line and it's created a disconnect within the relationship. And now I feel like they can't stop thinking about you and they're having regret about what happened. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Virgo this week. I wish I could take back my words. Yes. Okay. So yeah, when you say something messed up, you do cross the line. And so this is giving big energy of somebody who said something in the heat of the moment and they really wish they did not say that, Virgo. They really wish that they could take back those words. Now, I am getting a lot of regret. I am getting embarrassment. I feel that whatever your person said, they're very embarrassed by how they acted. And so now this week is kind of this interesting energy where I think you're dealing with the fallout of a situation where they cross the line and kind of figuring out, where do we go from here? What comes next? So here's what we're gonna do for the rest of the reading, Virgo. We're gonna look more at this person and we're gonna look at you. So let's look at their overall energy this week, what they could be feeling, what actions they could be taking. I will look at the same thing for you, and then we'll look at the potential outcomes. So let's kind of dig into it this week, you guys. So tell me about this person who Virgo is involved with, please. First card coming out is the Eight of Pentacles. I think they are trying to make it up to you. I do think that you're gonna see them putting effort in this week to fix things. This is a card, hi Fiona, so my little kitty cat. This is a card of somebody putting in the effort to repair something, trying to show you that they're serious about you, trying to show you that they're gonna step it up. So they are gonna put in the effort here. Let's see where it goes. Tell me more about their energy this week. The Six of Swords, okay. I mean, I think they want to leave the past in the past, obviously. So the Six of Swords is giving me the energy where they're like, can we just forget this happened, Virgo? Can we just pretend that all this shit didn't go down? Can we just like leave that behind us and move forward? I am really getting embarrassment here, you guys, from your person. I don't know what they did. I don't know what they said, but I am getting tremendous energy of somebody who is very embarrassed. And it's like, they're so embarrassed, they almost don't even want to think about it. They're like, can we just like pretend that didn't happen? Like, it's never going to happen again. Can we just move forward? And, it's interesting because when somebody hurts us, they don't get to decide how quickly we move forward, right? So the challenge here is like, yeah, I'm sure they're embarrassed by what they did. And I'm sure it would feel more comfortable to them if you could just, get over it and move forward. They don't get to decide that though. That's your personal journey for you to figure out. Like, can you forgive them? What does healing look like? What does that timeline look like? That's not for them to decide when you're over it. So that's interesting because I think they're definitely going to be pushing to move past the issue. Tell me more about their energy for this week, please. The Devil. Yeah, not surprising. So they did some toxic shit. Right? The Devil is something unhealthy. It's something toxic. It can represent many different things. I'll give you some examples. It can represent jealousy. It can represent controlling behavior. It can represent emotional unavailability. It can represent third-party situations. It can represent bad habits. Somebody who just, they give into the moment, you know? It's like they do something in the moment without thinking through any of the potential consequences of their behavior, which fits with, I wish I could take back my words, right? So they may have done something in the heat of the moment and they're like, that was really toxic and really messed up. And it's like, I do think they know that, by the way. I do think they are aware that they've hurt you. I'm not getting the energy of somebody who's like oblivious. It's like they know they hurt you and they're very embarrassed by it and they're trying to move past it. Let's see what they could be feeling this week, please. Let's take a look at that, you guys. The High Priestess, okay. Interesting. I mean, the High Priestess tends to indicate a very strong soul connection between two people. So I think they're looking at you, Virgo, and they're like, Virgo is my soulmate. Virgo is the one I want to be with. I love you so much. Great. I mean, doesn't change the fact that they messed up. Tell me more, please, about what they could be feeling this week. The Two of Wands. Yeah, this makes sense to me. So Two of Wands is kind of like that planning and preparation energy. It's like, you know, are we going this way? Are we going that way? To me, this indicates that the situation between the two of you this week is really up in the air, Virgo. I don't think they want to lose you. From what we've seen, they still want to be with you. So this is not a situation where they're like running away. I think they're running towards you and they want to be with you. The question is how you're going to receive that. Like I said a few minutes ago, I'm like, they don't get to decide when you're over it. They don't get to decide when you've healed from this. And so they know that, I think, you know? So with the Two of Wands, they're kind of like, I don't know which way this is going to go. And they're waiting on you to maybe make a decision. What else could they be feeling this week, please? Ace of Swords, moment of clarity. I've seen the error of my ways. I don't know why. I feel like I'm being a little snarky. I don't know why, you guys. I guess it's kind of like, I mean, sure, it's easy for them to come back and be like, you know, I've had this wake up call. I've had this epiphany, you know, it's kind of fucked up the way I hurt you, but, you know, I'm going to be different. But it doesn't change the fact that they did what they did. And so I feel your person is almost looking for like a quick fix. I keep getting the energy from them where it's like, they just kind of want to like move past the issue really quickly because they're embarrassed. But like, we're going to look at you in a couple minutes, Virgo, but I almost feel like they might be pushing a little bit too quickly and you might be saying to them this week, like, okay, I'm glad you've had this epiphany. I'm glad that you've realized what you did and why it was wrong, but like, it doesn't change the fact that it hurt me. I still need to figure out how I feel. I still need to figure out, like, can I get over this? Is this something that I can move past? So, I mean, the Ace of Swords is good in a way, Virgo, because I do think they've had a wake-up call. I do think they know they messed up. I don't think they want to lose you, right? They've had clarity here. So these are good, but it also doesn't just erase what happened. I keep getting that. It's like, whatever happened, you must be pretty upset about it. You know what I mean, Virgo? Because I keep picking up on these messages that are like, they don't get to decide when you're healed. You know, they may have had an epiphany, but it doesn't mean it's over. Like, to me, it feels like you might need a little bit more time to sit with what happened and figure out what you want to do. So tell me what actions they could be taking this week, please. The Ten of Wands, okay? I think that they're, you know, trying to deal with the emotional baggage that now exists between the two of you, trying to find a way to bring closure to it. What other actions could they be taking? Justice, I mean, good. That's good, very good. So we've got Libra energy here, okay, Virgo? So justice to me does indicate that an injustice has been done. They've hurt you. We know that, okay? We know they crossed the line and they wish they could take back their words. And this justice card is showing up in their actions. So I do think they're apologizing, Virgo. I do think they're saying sorry. I do think that they are taking full accountability for what happened. And if you watch my channel, I post a lot of videos. This doesn't always happen, right? Somebody messes up sometimes and they don't really care, right? They don't do anything about it. In this case, I will give your person credit because I do think that they are actively trying to fix things. But again, I just keep getting the message like, it's good that they're doing that, but then you're gonna have to find your own way of deciding how you wanna move forward, right? They don't get to decide that for you. What other actions could they be taking this week? The Two of Swords, okay, yeah. So basically, this whole situation between you guys is at a crossroads right now, and they're feeling very stuck. You know, they feel like they don't know what's gonna happen. Their head is telling them one thing, their heart is telling them another. It is a jumbled mess of emotions. I think your person is really not confident in knowing how things are going to move forward, right? And I think that makes sense because they're the one who messed up. So they're waiting to kind of see this week, okay, you guys are at this crossroads in your relationship. What's going to happen? You're going to have to be the one, I think, Virgo, who's going to make that decision, because from what we can see, your person wants to work on things. They want to fix things, right? So ultimately, I think the power is going to lie with you to decide what you want to do. So I'm very curious to see your energy. So let's get into it. Tell me about Virgo for this week, please. Six of Cups, okay? So it is interesting, you guys, because your person had the High Priestess and you have the Six of Cups. I do think there is a strong connection between the two of you. The Six of Cups does also indicate there's probably a fair amount of history for some of you with this person. But again, it's kind of like, you know, something has happened, you know, in the past, whether that's the recent past or longer ago. And I think that needs to be dealt with. Tell me more about Virgo's energy this week. Three of Pentacles. Okay. So now we're starting to get some clues as to how you might be reacting to this. Three of Pentacles, Virgo, I often say to you that this is like the counseling card of the tarot. And this is showing up for you, okay? It is a card of being open to working through things. So I am seeing openness from your part to want to work through this. I mean, it could come with conditions. So it might be something where your person comes in, they're saying they're sorry this week, and you're like, I'll give you a chance, but here's my conditions of giving you a chance. Maybe one of those conditions is you guys go to counseling, for example, right? Tell me more about Virgo's energy this week. Ace of Pentacles, okay? Ace of Pentacles is about a brand new start, a new beginning. You know, it could be a fresh start between the two of you. I will say, as I look at your energy, I do think that you're open to working on things, but I am very strongly getting the message that it comes with conditions, right? So it's like, you might say to them, yes, we can work on things, but like, here's what needs to be happening for us to do that. There's certain things that I think you need from them, right? Like I said, maybe going to counseling or whatever it is. Tell me what Virgo could be feeling this week, please. Ace of Wands, wow. Kind of wild, you guys. We're getting a lot of aces here, which is interesting to me because aces can kind of go one of two ways. Like an ace to me can be a brand new beginning with someone new. So maybe there is part of you that's like, is it worth fixing it with this person? Or would it be better for me to just like go out there and find someone else? But aces can also be like a renewed connection with our current person, right? Like a fresh start. So I think both are options that have crossed your mind. Tell me more, please, about how Virgo could be feeling this week. Eight of Cups, yeah, right? It's kind of that back and forth. It's like part of you, I do think part of you wants to work on it, but then part of you is like, should I walk away? And I think this is what I was intuitively picking up on, where I'm like, your person definitely wants to move forward, but they don't get to decide if you're ready for that, right? And so that's why I think your energy is, it could kind of go both ways. I think you love this person and there's definitely part of you that's like, yeah, let's work on things. But then there's also part of you that's like, do I want to work on things? Because I do think you're hurt by what happened, right? So you're kind of back and forth maybe a little bit this week, Virgo. Tell me more about what Virgo could be feeling, please. Yeah. I mean, kind of the most perfect card to come out given what I just said. You're confused, right? Seven of Cups is somebody who has all these options and they're like, what am I going to do? Like, which option am I going to choose? Which pathway am I going to go down? And sometimes the Seven of Cups can represent illusions, right? So part of this as well is you're looking at it and maybe you're like, do I have enough information? Do I have all the information? You know, is there anything else I need to know? And I think it's just very, very confusing. So you can see how the differences are showing up in the energy this week, right? It's like your person is full on ready to jump in and fix things, but you kind of seem like you're still figuring things out, right? It's like, I feel you need a little bit of space and, you know, hopefully your person can respect this, where you're like, I'm still upset. Like, I'm still unsure. I'm still processing and figuring out what I want to do. And that might lead to a little bit of a disconnect because your person's energy might strongly be coming in trying to fix things this week, Virgo. And you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Or I don't even know if that's what I want. You got to give me more time. Tell me what actions Virgo could be taking this week. Let's take a look at that. The Knight of Swords, okay? So Knight of Swords is like charging forward. Tell me more. Four of Cups, yeah. It's that push and pull, right? I'm like, okay, Knight of Swords charging forward and then Four of Cups is withdrawing, right? So I really think for you this week, it's going to be about being in that back and forth limbo. And my personal advice for you, given this, is like honor that space that you need, right? If your person did something and you're still really upset, it's okay for you to say to them, like, I need more space, I need more time. Because I do think there's going to be moments this week where you're like, okay, yeah, we're going to fix it, we're going to work on it. And I do think there's going to be moments this week for you, Virgo, where you're like, actually, I don't know if that's what I want, right? So you can see how there's still a lot of that emotional energy. And so you might need a little bit more time to actually figure out in your heart what you want to do here. What other actions could Virgo be taking this week? Five of Pentacles, okay. Five of Pentacles is a card of feeling left out in the cold, feeling disconnected. Yeah, I just feel that this, whatever your person said, like, here's the challenge, you guys. When something is said, like, it can't be unsaid, you know? You can't unhear it once it's out there. And so I feel like whatever your person said was upsetting enough that you're having serious concerns about whether you can move forward with them. And I think it's challenging because I do think there is a big part of you that does want to move forward with them and try. But like, I think the emotional impact of what happened still seems to be sitting really heavy on your heart right now, Virgo. And that's why I'm like, if you need a little bit more time and space, take it, right? Like, you can communicate, you don't have to ghost your person, but like, you can communicate to them, like, thank you for coming in and apologizing, but like, I'm not ready to talk, or I need a little bit more space. Like, you can let them know what your boundary is and what you need. And, you know, hopefully they respect that. So, moment of truth here. Let's see what the potential outcome is within this situation, Virgo. Three of Wands. We're going to pull two more cards. What is the potential outcome? Knight of Pentacles, okay. What is the potential outcome here, please? And then the Chariot. Okay, interesting. So let's break it down. First impressions are that I think you guys have a good chance of working this out, but I don't think it's going to be this week necessarily. So let me explain. As we looked at, your person wants to be with you. They're apologizing. They're sorry. I think you're still emotionally kind of triggered by what happened. So you maybe need a little bit of time and space this week to sort out your feelings. However, the outcome here is suggesting that there is a pathway forward. So the Three of Wands is like, to me, still seeing a future together, you know, looking out ahead to the future, because that's what the person in the card is doing, and being like, we still have a future here. Okay. So I do think that my sense here is that you're definitely open to giving it a try, and I think you might give it a try. I think this week you maybe need a little bit of time and space, but I do think you're open to giving it a try. The Knight of Pentacles is basically saying, okay, but not everything's going to be fixed overnight. I think that your person's going to have to build back your trust, right? Over time, you're going to have to see through their words and through their actions that they're showing up for you in the way that you need. And then the Chariot is about charging forward, like moving forward in the connection. So I do actually see the potential here for things to work out with you and this person. I do see that. I think they're going to have to give you a little bit of space though, before you're ready to make that decision. But if you do decide to move forward, the Chariot does also tend to show up when there's been challenges, right? So the Chariot does tend to show up when we've gone through struggles, but then we're working to overcome them. So do I see a pathway forward here for you guys to overcome this? Yes. But at the end of the day, the big message is that you also need to honor your healing process. It kind of goes back to what I was intuitively picking up at the start of the reading, where I'm like, your person doesn't get to decide when you're over it. You get to decide that based on your healing. So if they're able to respect that, that's a good thing, right? If they're kind of pushing you to do anything before you're ready, that's, in my opinion, not cool. Like, that might tell you something. But I think if they come in and they're like, I love you, Virgo, I want to be with you, I want to work on things, and you say to them like, look, I appreciate you reaching out, but I'm still really hurt, give me some time. And if I feel like, my sense is that if they can like really respect that and show that they respect what you need and respect your boundaries, I think there is a pathway forward. And I think this week you might just need a little bit more time and space to figure out in your heart what you want to do. And then if you do decide to work on it, then you guys can move forward at that point. Okay. So that's what I see for you this week, Virgo. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated, you know what to do. give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Check out my Etsy shop if you'd like to get a personal reading. And of course, I wish you love, I wish you happiness, Virgo, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye, guys.